Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting. I'm one of the HCS commentators, and we have another HCS weekly report where today and for the rest of the week leading up until DreamHack Dallas, we're breaking down every single team that you're going to see during the HCS Global Invitational. We've already done Sentinels, Rebellion, Avengers, Native White, G1, Complexity, Native Reed. Now it's time to talk about the number 3 seed, but number 1. HCS points, Optic Gaming. Number 1 HCS points, however, during the DreamHack Dallas qualifier with Space Station Gaming that won and FaZe that got second place, knocking Optic Gaming down to the number 3 seed based on HCS points. APG, one of the longest tenured, if not the longest tenured pro that we have in our scene. Formal, Controller Player of the Year nominee, Call of Duty, Halo, Apex, it doesn't matter. This man is a genius when it comes to first-person shooters. Lucid, the reigning MVP, formerly known as Sane for my Halo 5 guys out there. Lucid is obviously the real deal, and then you have Trippy, who rounds out this team so well, a Swiss Army knife type of player. Every team needs a Trippy. Optic Gaming have such a good balance of firepower, teamwork, objective efficiency. Literally, if it almost seems like if you're gonna make a perfect team, your blueprint is Optic Gaming. Coming in as the number 3 seed, they're in what I think is the pool of death. Optic Gaming, G1, Quadrant, and J-Lings. Optic are supposed to beat out every one of these teams, but I promise you, G1 usually play Optic well, and so do Quadrant. It's going to be hard for me to believe that J-Lings are going to beat out Optic Gaming, but hey, anything is possible. I just think G1 and Quadrant normally play Optic so well, and if there's any chance that Optic come out of a pool not undefeated, I think it's in this pool C with G1 and Quadrant. Either way, I will say that Optic are the favorites, and I wouldn't be surprised if they came out undefeated, but don't sleep. Going into HCS Charlotte, excuse me, I want to say DreamHack because I keep saying DreamHack for LAN. Going into HCS Charlotte, it was Optic Gaming that not only won this tournament, but officially repeated, leading back to Orlando from last year. Back-to-back LAN champions for Optic Gaming as they're looking to pull off the four-peat. They could legitimately go into DreamHack, win 4 LANs in a row, which puts them in maybe not a dynasty, but at least a dynastic conversation with the Toxins and the final bosses and whatnot. Like, when you think of teams that have won 4 LANs in a row, there's not many of them. I can barely think of any, to be honest with you. Optic Gaming looking to pull off the four-peat and put themselves in elite conversation if they're able to do just that. Going into the first 4K, we're so accustomed to seeing Optic in the top 2. Seeing them in top 6 is weird. It's weird. During the winners bracket, Optic Gaming were able to 3-0 Proton Gaming, but when they ran into Complexity, although able to take them to a game 5, Complexity seemingly having a bit of a mental on Optic Gaming, at least when it comes to online gameplay. Complexity have gotten the best of Optic Gaming multiple times now, including the first time being game 5, sending Optic down to the elimination bracket much earlier than expected. Once Optic Gaming got there, immediately running into Native Red, who I feel like if there's any team to not run into after a tough defeat, it's probably Native Red. Native Red are gonna find the weakness. You know, they're gonna find the wound, and they're gonna put their thumb on it. They're gonna make it hurt, and that's exactly what Native Red did. They saw Optic off of a loss. They saw that bit of weakness, and they went in and closed it out. 3-1 for Native Red. Optic Gaming go out in top 6 during the first 4K. Sorry. During the 2K, right after that April 23rd 4K, a little week later, you know, Optic proved that they they don't have back-to-back bad weeks, and immediately off of getting top 6, Optic came in and showed their ass a bit. You know, they came in and showed what they were really made of. Got first place during that tournament where they ran into that same Native Red squad with the 3-0. Ran into Space Station Gaming, who we're going to talk about real soon, have been red hot, but they 3-0 not only Native Red, but Space Station Gaming, and look like they're ready to 3-0 anyone that gets in their path. Where they ran into Space Station Gaming again, this time with a 3-1, but a fairly dominant win in favor of Optic Gaming. But I do want to note that during this 2K, Cycle couldn't compete, so Complexity weren't here, and I wonder what would have happened if Optic might have ran into Complexity again. These were questions that were, I guess, might maybe eventually be answered. Because, once again, Optic Gaming, top 6. Then, 2 out of 3 tournaments, Optic Gaming end up in the top 6, and we're not going to mince words here. Underperformed. You know, as you guys know, I love Optic Gaming. You guys know I have a ton of respect for Optic Gaming, but 2 out of 3 events, top 6 is unacceptable for the number 1 team in the world. I don't think anyone's going to sit here and argue that. We've grown accustomed to seeing a level of excellence for Optic Gaming, whether it be online or on LAN. Even though last year there was questions about how they would perform on LAN, I don't think anybody is asking those same questions now after back-to-back LAN championships. But we've grown to expect a level of excellence, and 2 out of 3 tournaments getting top 6 is not what we expected. At least not what I expected. Right off the rip, Optic Gaming run into FaZe and FaZe on one that event, and anybody who wasn't named Space Station Gaming ended up getting the business by FaZe, because FaZe come out with the 3-0 over Optic, sending him down to elimination bracket immediately. And you know, when Optic get knocked down to elimination bracket in round number 1, it's different waters for Optic, honestly. We don't know what to expect. Normally, when Optic Gaming get knocked down to elimination bracket, it's normally a lot later in the bracket. But they do what they do, and they 3-0 Proton Gaming. They do what they do, and they 3-0 Avengers. But Complexity do what they do. Once again, at 2 out of 3 tournaments, Complexity beating out the number 1 team in the world, Optic Gaming, in a Game 5. They then go on to beat Native Red and run into FaZe again, but once again, Optic Gaming out into that top 6. And I'll tell you what, if some way, somehow, Optic and Complexity match up on LAN, watch that. I said this before about about Native Red and Complexity, but you watch this event. You watch that series. When Optic and Complexity go hand-to-hand combat on LAN, you watch it, because there's gonna be some emotions. There's gonna be some trash talk. I can feel it in my loins. There's, go- there's gonna be some talking. Since May 13th, Optic have looked angry. 11-2 over Native Red, 9-4 over G1, 9-3 over Native Red again, 13-0 over Sentinels, 9-3 over Native Whites, and 10-1 over Sentinels. This is similar to the level of dominance that we were seeing late last year with Optic and scrims, where they go into scrims and they dominate everyone within their paths, and this is kind of reminding me of just that. Optic getting into Optic Gaming form, going into Dallas land, and I talked about this before, and I'll talk about it again. Don't turn the green wall into the green monster. You know, like I feel like the last thing you want to do is make Optic angry. One way to make Optic angry: had them underperform in 2 online events that they feel like they should have won. Giving them the number 3 seed when they feel like they should be the number 1 seed based on HCS points. So now they go on to land, they're gonna be extra motivated. Like, I feel like the last thing you want to do is make Optic angry. And let me tell you, I feel like they are. I feel like they're going to go into HCS Dallas just that much more determined, that much more motivated, and that much more dangerous because of it. Optic Gaming have always been the real deal. We already knew they were favorites to make a grand finals and one of the favorites to win the tournament. But now I feel like there's going to be an extra level of focus no matter who they're playing against. Because now it's no longer, it's no longer, you know, this matchup right here is to help to get to a better seeding over in bracket play. No more, this matchup, it's now, this matchup is a message. Every single team they go against is going to be a message to the rest of the league saying, watch out, we're going for the four-peat. That's your HCS weekly report, guys. Optic Gaming, number 1 in HCS points, number 3 seed going into Dallas, and number 1 angriest team that's going to be there. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys drop the like, subscribes, all that good stuff. And more importantly, go to the Twitch channel and follow the Twitch channel, guys. We do these videos live on Twitch. You can watch it a day or two before anybody does, before it gets to the YouTube, if you go onto the Twitch and check it out. Thank you guys so much for checking out the content. I appreciate and love every single one of you guys. And I'll see you soon for the next video where we go over Haze and Dead Space. Until next time.